Antonio, Texas. And we are kicking it off with the World Wrestling Federation champion, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
2001, things were clicking. Business was great. Arenas were sold out. Business was clipping along. Life was as usual. Everybody was in the grind, being on the road and working their ass off, man. We were loving where we were at.
And Lita from the Hurricane Rana.
It was, as exciting as it always is, just madness and mayhem, especially during the Attitude Era.
From Miami, Florida, The Rock!
They were getting great ratings on television. Every single traditional sports league was very aware of the popularity of WWE at that point.
Rock bottom! The rock bottom!
We finished up in San Antonio. We were just ready for another day of work. It was going to be a normal day, so we thought.
For now, San Antonio, thank you and good night!
An early Tuesday morning in September, WWE personnel were preparing for a show that night in Houston, Texas.
September 11, 2001, I was on the WWE creative team. We had flown on the corporate jet the night before from Monday Night Raw, which was in San Antonio, to Houston, Texas. The writers were going to get together with Vince McMahon to go over what was going to happen on SmackDown that night.
I remembered watching the Today Show, and I'm watching it, and they're talking about it appears that a commuter plane has hit one of the World Trade Center buildings.
We have a breaking news story to tell you about. Apparently, a plane has just crashed into the World Trade Center here in New York City. It happened just a few moments ago.
And I remember Vince coming out. I was like, what are you looking at? I said, that's World Trade Center. I said, it looks like a plane flew into it. More people started coming in, and they're all talking about this, members of the creative team, and people are talking about, wow, did you hear what happened in Manhattan?
So we were all watching television and the news breaking and the story unfolding and developing when the second plane hit.
Right, oh my gosh, another plane has just hit another building.
It was that quick that you're sitting there going, this isn't an accident.
Oh my word, oh my word.
Oh my God. How could this happen? You didn't know. Oh my God, this is an invasion. You didn't know at that moment whether or not you were in danger. You knew your life was changing at that moment.
I couldn't believe what I was watching. I don't think anybody could. I couldn't believe that this was happening to our country. Man, those towers, smoke billowing out of them. Yeah, it's rough. Yeah. I remember like it's yesterday.
I got awakened by a phone call from my friend. He was just like, oh my God, I'm okay, I'm okay. I'm just running uptown and I'm okay. And he goes, turn on the TV. So I turned on the TV.
The FBI is already investigating reports that a plane was actually hijacked.
And I am literally just shaking, and then we lose communication. And I can't get him back on the phone. And then I see that the towers crumble.
In all, there were 4 coordinated terrorist attacks that day, taking nearly 3,000 lives. It remains the deadliest terrorist attack on American soil in the nation's history.
Nothing like that had ever happened before. You're watching people run, scared and mortified and in real time. It's hard to put into words.
I immediately started thinking about all of the people who could potentially be in the area that I knew. My mom, my friends, and you couldn't get in touch with anyone.
We were all trying to call each other. You know, everybody was frantic, scared and nervous. It was one of the worst tragedies in American history. Back in the day, WWE was known as New York. That was the territory. The most important arena for WWE was Madison Square Garden in Midtown Manhattan, New York City, New York.
Manhattan, New York, all the boroughs, you could not find a more loyal audience or a more appreciative audience than New York.
The epitome of any professional wrestler is to wrestle in Madison Square Garden. It's just the high point on my checklist. But what's just as high, or maybe even higher, are the fans. Fans, without a doubt, are the greatest fans in the world, right in New York.
WWE in New York City, it was our home. New Yorkers, they embraced us.
There is a sense of invulnerability when you're a native New Yorker. And it was devastating to all New Yorkers that we are vulnerable. It can happen here. It has happened here.
With flights grounded across the country amid fear of further attacks, everyday life in America, including the planned WWE SmackDown show in Houston, was put on pause.
The building had called us and said, okay, yeah, we're going to have to secure the building and we need to shut everything down. While we were getting word to talent, we were letting people know, look, if you're uncomfortable, we're going to stay. We're going to see what happens. I think the safest thing to do at that point was to stay in place.
We all met downstairs in the lobby, and we got in the car to go get something to eat. And there was no one on the road. Absolutely no one.
And there was no planes in the sky, and there was no traffic. It really felt post-apocalyptic. Everything just shut down.
We all just wanted to be around each other and together, and it was scary.
And welcome to SportsCenter, a SportsCenter unlike any other here at ESPN.
We were just trying to get a grasp on what had just happened. So it became pretty evident really quickly that nothing was going to happen on the day of 9/11. Obviously, the first baseball games were canceled that day. And that's when all the big college football conferences, the Big 12, Big 10, the SEC, that's when we knew nothing was going to happen.
For the first time in its history, the National Football League has shut down for something other than a work stoppage.
Once the NFL pebble fell, the rest of them came in pretty quickly.
Everything else was being canceled, justifiably. But the president at the time, George Bush, said,
terrorist attacks can shake the foundations of our biggest buildings, but they cannot touch the foundation of America. These acts shattered steel, but they cannot dent the steel of American resolve.
I felt like I, too, wanted to, fight back in some way.
I was 5 feet away from Vince McMahon for most of the time. And to this day, I can't imagine the pressure that was on him for every micro decision.
Everything you turned on was tragedy, tragedy, tragedy. Can we be something to offer other than tragedy?
Hell with it. let's go do it for all the right reasons.
Within 24 hours of the attacks, a new WWE plan took shape to stage a Thursday night show live in the nation's fourth largest city. But having thousands of fans attend with so many security questions and concerns was an enormous risk.
One of the most difficult decisions I've ever made. The building manager was all for it. Television people, everyone was pretty much all for it. There were some that weren't, but you would expect that.
It was just a very strange time. I thought we should have been home, if I'm being perfectly honest. We should get to our families, you know? But the flip side of that, you want to try and bring normalcy back.
Yeah, I was worried about returning to work too soon because I'm thinking, hey, man, are we, letting this process, this mourning process, happen long enough? Were we showing respect, to these people that lost their lives? But when I got the call from Vince, and Vince says, Steve, somebody's got to get back to work. Someone's got to send out a message. We've got to entertain people. We got to do what we do, because we're not paramedics. We're not trained doctors. We can't go down there and help. Let's just do our job and try to entertain people.
It was challenging, to say the least. We had a city that was willing to work with us and make it happen. Jim McIngvale, Mattress Mac, is the world's most famous furniture store owner. Mac started out advertising on Houston Wrestling in Houston, Texas. Mac was a big part of our WrestleMania promotion when we were there.
It's Jim McIngvale from GalleryFurniture.com. Hey, Jim!
He just loved WWE, so he was happy to help.
We had extra staff at the hotel. We had people at the mayor's office. We had people at the event center all over there to segue and take care of the security needs. We got it on the radio. We had TV. We had coverage from news stations, those type of different things. And there was a lot of logistics involved.
In the morning hours of September 13th, with support from the city, WWE announced it would stage a live episode of SmackDown at the Compaq Center, an event that would be the nation's first public gathering since the attacks.
When I heard that we were going to go ahead and do SmackDown, I had a little bit of sense of pride, really, giving our audience some semblance of normalcy. They weren't going to break the spirit of America. We're still all Americans. We're all in this together.
I do remember it was just very quiet. It was quiet that Thursday. Everybody was, you could hear the wrenches turning and, the shouts for this or from the riggers up top, adjusting lights and stuff like that. You'd hear that, but normally there's a buzz. It wasn't much of a buzz. I know everybody was in the zone and everybody was doing what they had to do. And if anybody needed help, there was always someone there that was willing to say, hey man, I got you. Let me give you a hand carrying this. And not knowing who's going to show up. But people showed up and they were lined up at the box office too. We took that step forward to say, come on out. Don't be afraid. Don't let a foreign force come in and stop you from living your life of freedom.
Sports in general, they give you a break from the bad stuff that's on the news. I had already had tickets. And this, to me, was the perfect break. To get away from all the sadness. You still wanted to go out and do something normal. But the security was tight.
We didn't know if these terrorists were gonna find out about that and then maybe try to do something to the building that we were in. I mean, I know people were getting dressed to go out and packing their bags and putting it by a door. I mean, we were all nervous.
You don't know what security you need because nothing like this had ever happened before.
dogs and police and the Army were all there going through the entire building.
We used to get our badges all the time, and some of the guys would toss it to the side. I don't need this. They're gonna look at my face and know who I am. But you couldn't get in the building. Security was just tight.
I think Vince McMahon made sure that there was going to be a lot of security, a lot of people protecting us, protecting the fans. They did an excellent job at making sure that everybody was safe.
I remember I was backstage and I was pacing a lot. I never peeked through the curtain. I think it would have been too overwhelming for me. But I could hear the crowd and I could hear their energy.
And I remember hearing the fans coming into the building and the USA chants. They just started from the second our fans started to pour in.
There was a stagehand who was from New York, who I found in a corner bawling his eyes out. And I put my hand on his shoulder and he turned around and he hugged me and he just said, "We're gonna get through this, aren't we?" And I remember asking him, "Do you mean this entire situation or just tonight's broadcast?" And as tears were running down his face, he broke into a smile and he said, I'll accept either answer. And I said, well, let's get through tonight's broadcast and then we'll try to fix the world.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Houston, Texas, for a very special live edition of World Wrestling Federation SmackDown.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the chairman of the World Wrestling Federation, Vince McMahon!
One of our rights is freedom of expression. And that's one of the things that we were fighting for that night.
Tonight, the spirit of America lives here in Houston, Texas.
To be able to express ourselves, to be able to say, to our enemies, hey, you did what you did, we're gonna get beyond that. And here's the spirit, here's the emotion, the fabric of America, and we're gonna show it to you.
We will not live our lives in fear.
He got his feelings straight from the heart and what we were dealing with and how he felt as an American.
The citizens of Houston are not afraid. The citizens of Texas are indeed not afraid. And by God, the citizens of the United States are not afraid.
He took one of the lowest parts of our country and turned it around and said what every American wanted to say.
We will fight for our families. We will fight for our rights. And we will fight for our great nation.
That was a celebration, an appropriately somber, but also enthusiastic, patriotic celebration of what it means to be of one people.
America's heart has been wounded, but her spirit shines as a beacon of freedom that never has been nor ever will be extinguished.
I wish everyone could have experienced that. Wow. That was the most powerful, yet humbling experience ever, in or out of the ring.
It was incredible. It was really a genuine moment. The way the crowd reacted to his speech, it was clearly the right move to do that show on that day.
It was just a feeling of unity that we were all there with, some 18,000 people in our crew, standing out there on the stage all together. That's an event that has shaken the entire world. You don't worry about what the rules of the sports entertainment business are. You're out there showing respect, and we're standing together with our crowd as one, saying, hey man, we all feel this, let's all come together.
Those moments are bigger than anything that we're doing inside of the ring. We're family at the end of the day.
The place was packed, and it seemed like everybody brought a U.S. flag. It was an unbelievable moment of solidarity with fellow Americans.
There are very few moments in my career that I can point to and say there was a visceral feeling. That was one of those moments. You could literally feel it in your entire being.
Everyone in that building was there for the same reason. You saw it, you felt unity in the nation.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the singing of our national anthem.
For the first time ever on SmackDown, the national anthem would be part of the broadcast.
Vince, he goes, I want to start the show off with you singing the national anthem. I think that that's going to be a very healing and impactful moment for everyone. Would you do it? I looked at him and I just said, I'm very honored that you have asked me to do this. But man, I also felt like all of a sudden, like the weight of the world had been put on my shoulders. And immediately I'm like, oh, can you do this?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
To be able to stand on the stage with our superstars, to hear Lillian Garcia sing that national anthem, to look around at our audience and feel their energy and the flags waving and people standing with their hands on their hearts. It's hard to put into words.
The Rock is standing right there next to Vince, right in the front. And I do remember him backstage looking at me going, you got this, kid. You got this.
That our flag was still there.
Honestly, that might have been the most memorable part of the whole night. She sang the performance of her life. Yeah. I tear up thinking about it, you know?
Afterwards, you see me let go, and I start crying. But I also cried because looking around and seeing all the signs and seeing all the people and the crowd and the flags, and it's unforgettable. It's so special. And it really is amazing and a testament that when we do all come together like that, that we can heal. And that's what you felt. You felt love. That's all you felt in that room.
It no longer became about opening the show with our national anthem. It became what the national anthem was all about. And that was, in and of itself, a message, live. And as emotional as she was to pull it off, kudos. That was an incredible, incredible feat.
Once Lillian Garcia hit those notes, and I was a wreck.
I'm 100% behind being here tonight, and as a native New Yorker, I can tell you from my heart, it's the right place to be, and it's the right night to put on a great show.
And Vince was in my headset saying, that was wonderful, that was beautiful, you should be very proud of yourself. Now please entertain them.
This is our way of sending our condolences to everyone affected by this tragedy.
Finally, The Rock has come back to Houston.
On 9/11, the idea of performing 2 days later was really scary. But this crazy thing happened even within those 2 days of like this patriotic rally within the country. The enthusiasm from the crowd that night, it just grew as the night went on. Each week on the show, there's, stories of good versus evil, and you've got characters you like and characters you don't like. But that night, it was like everybody was just out there to entertain the fans.
I just remember being there, and I was so happy to be there. For me, being a big Booker T fan and to see him represent his hometown in Houston, I just need a break from reality.
It wasn't about the matches that night. It was about the entertainment. It was about the feeling and the emotional connection that we can go out and make with our audience.
It was a night for fans to escape and for the superstars to share their genuine emotions.
We want to send our prayers out to the victims of this travesty.
I just want to say to everyone out there, again, to the families and friends of the victims and everyone involved, is to just stay strong. Stay strong.
Our job is to bring smiles to the faces of all your families. And if we can do that, then we've done our jobs.
We're running this show tonight because we're going to show you that you cannot break, you cannot even bend the fiber, the backbone of the United States of America.
John Layfield on that one night got a standing ovation. John was a bad guy. Everybody in that building stood up and cheered and went nuts for.
It was just raw emotion. It was, America, we're behind you, and we love you, and we don't know what's next, but we're going to go into this together.
Now I know who the true American heroes are. They're the police officers and the firemen and the doctors and nurses and the paramedics and all the people that stretched out their arms to help the victims and their families. They're the true American heroes.
We're sending out an Olympic gold medalist of the United States of America to work, and that crowd was so behind him. And for that night, Kurt was that American hero all over again.
It was really cool to main event that particular SmackDown. It was definitely one of the proudest moments of my life.
After the television broadcast ended, there was one additional match. A special thank you to the fans in attendance.
If there's a man still back there in that dressing room, all you got to do is come right down to this ring right now.
If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
Me and Rock went out there, tore the place down, and tried to entertain those people as much as we could. For a very special moment like that, we're gonna bust our ass to make everybody have a good time.
When you have Stone Cold and The Rock to come out, and you sitting there and for me personally, I wish I had a cell phone with a camera back then because there were some great moments.
Born and raised in Texas. That's where I grew up, and I love it. If you're in Texas, I mean, you're in the heart of America. It meant a lot for me to be there, you know, representing the great state of Texas. And I know everybody in Texas was proud of the efforts that we put forth.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of all of us here at the World Wrestling Federation, thank you and good night, everybody.
I can't tell you how happy I was after the event was over and everyone was out of the building.
2 decades later, the nation still remembers and forever honors those lost.
Left going to Ground Zero. Of course, they got the memorial there. Looks a lot different. It's a lot more peaceful. But you know what happened there, and that's one thing that you never want to forget.
The feeling of loss remains. But so does the memory of a moment when WWE helped, in its own way, to begin the healing.
Something like this, I think, gives people a chance to get away and be able to experience something fun.
This is just a break. I mean, even though it may be for a few hours, but it's well worth it.
I'll always be grateful to Vince and all the crew for taking that first step and saying to the terrorists, you know, to hell with you, we're going on.
You very rarely in life get a chance to do something for your country. This was the first big event after 9/11, and we got the chance to be able to go out there and do something for our country, and that felt really good.
Is a moment in American history. Everybody coming into that building and all saying, we all have each other's backs. It was the most proud of this company I think I've ever been.
It was a moment for everyone. As the first public assembly, it wasn't just Texas that brought our country together. So proud to be an American.
WWE had a live event at Madison Square Garden the following month.
To see all the police officers and the firemen, it kind of brightened their day a little bit to see the wrestlers come down. And if anything, they could forget about what they're doing for 2 hours. It felt really good to do that for them.
A lot of us got invited down to Ground Zero. Being there was really important to all of us as individuals, as Americans, to pay our respects to everybody that were victims to 9/11.
It was still smoldering. It was just a heavy feeling, and we were just walking down there and trying to offer support. 20 years later, when I see footage of the city without the Twin Towers, I still have a hard time fathoming it today. No one will ever forget that.